Alright, welcome to the video. So today what I want to do is I'm going over 3 grills, or my review on the 3 smokers that I have. The Char griller, this one is the Smoking Champ. We'll also talk about the Oklahoma Joe Highland and the Old Country Pecos. So the first grill I'm going to start with is going to be the Smoking Champ. This right here was the first grill that I ever had. This one right here is actually my second one of this. I had another one and I came back here for the summer, and then I picked this one up off Marketplace for like 50 bucks and ended up keeping it. So let's see. Again, first smoker, true smoker I ever had. Now, I did have a Weber, still have a Weber kettle. That was the first thing that got me addicted to barbecue. But after that, I just sort of fell in love with barbecue, and then I purchased one of these. Now, with the grill itself, it's not too bad. So the first things that we'll do is we'll go over the positives. First, it's really not that hard to use. I have not modified mine really in any way. The closest modification that I have is in the firebox. I don't know if you can really tell, but it comes with a real flimsy grate that goes down there. So that grate, I took it out and just took one of the grates that comes inside of the firebox and just laid it down on the bottom. Next thing, I guess you want to call it a modification, is when I do use it, I do put a water pan inside of it for deflection purposes. Here's a visual of what we're cooking today. There's that. Up here, your smokestack, I guess, adjuster or whatever you want to call it, it does actually work on this grill. So that is a plus. Again, it's easy to use. It uses very little wood. You run small splits. They will keep your temperature where you want it. So forth, so on. Now, negatives. Negatives is, as you've seen when I opened it, I call it a clamshell. This clamshell will leak. Like right now, it is sort of windy. It brings air inside of the grill and pushes all your heat out. Is annoying. Again, this is my second one. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but this bottom shelf is bent. My other one bent in the same area. It does need to set on level ground. Believe it or not, this ground is pretty level today. It is hard when you first start using it to control your temperatures. And there's really no shelf space here in the front to put anything on. For me, I guess that's a negative. The next one is our Oklahoma Joe. The Oklahoma Joe, I've not really used this one too much. I had bought it as a replacement or an upgrade, I thought, for that one. But after I started using it, and it could just be that that's what I had learned how to use, I didn't really use it too much. Some of the upgrades that I have done, this upgrade right now is sort of new. Excuse the mess in the back building my area up. Is this smokestack extension, and I am telling you, it has made a difference for this grill. So I think it's called Walkers. You can find them on Amazon. Slides right on. Have to do no work. Works great. Next is, yeah, that's it. That's all I've done. I had put a gasket along it. It was the Oklahoma Joe gasket, but as you can see, 3 of them have came off, so I just left it off. Yeah. And so moving on, things I like about this one better is you'll notice that it is the barrel, but it does have that lid. The barrel is welded closed. It does have a front rack, which I actually, believe it or not, it is better. You have a place for 2 thermometers, unlike our Char griller. The Oklahoma Joe's thermometer and this one, they read about 20 degrees different. Yeah, about 20 degrees different. And I just think that has to do with the location of closeness to the firebox. But your temperature up here will be different at grate levels, so you need to make sure that you run a thermometer down there. Firebox. I'm not a fan of the firebox for the simple fact that this back door, mine is currently rusted in the open position, but when it is not rusted, it doesn't want to stay open. And so I would always have to fight with it to keep it open, but now it's rusted, so I just leave it there. Which, since I forgot, back here on the Char griller, this is your back door vent, and it is sort of useless. You cannot close it off. You can't control temperature back here. Air just comes in. That's it for, I guess, the Oklahoma Joe. Now let's move on to the Old Country Pecos. The Old Country Pecos. Now this one I did not buy new. I picked it up off Marketplace. Guy was selling it pretty cheap and grabbed it. Now for this one, modification, probably won't be able to see, but down there is a deflector plate. When I first started my first cook on it, I could not get smoke to come out of the stack. It just stayed in the chamber. Watched a bunch of videos, went ahead, removed the deflector plate, and made a world of difference. This one I do like because the metal is significantly thicker. Does have the front tray. It does leak, so don't think it's going to be airtight. And I do like the size of the firebox. So I don't know if you can really tell, but these are full-size splits. And that is what I'd run inside of my grill. As you can see, I run full-size splits. I know a lot of people will tell you that you can't, but I've seemed to do okay with it. As you can see, my temperature is holding halfway decent. And for this one, my thermometer and my grate level depends on where you're at on the grate. I guess this will be one of the negatives. It has different temperatures all the way across the grate. That was with and without the baffle. It was just really rough, and still is. But what I have found is smoke. This area right here is optimal for cooking. Anything over here, you're going to be burning it up. And right in here, you're still going to have a pretty quick cook. There is about 100-degree difference from over here to over here. And so it just varies throughout. Now, if you ask me which one, if you had to buy one, which one I would buy, for a starter outer, I know that the Char griller is about $350 at Home Depot. The Oklahoma Joe's, I think, is around $350 at Lowe's. And the Old Country Pecos for $50 at Academy Sports. Now, I know where I live, we don't have an Academy Sports, so you can't really buy one. So I just, like I said, got lucky, found it on Marketplace. But if I did have it and I had the extra 100 to spend, I would probably go with the Old Country Pecos. My next choice, believe it or not, would the Char griller, and then as of right now, it would be the Oklahoma Joe. But again, I think the difference between the Char griller and the Oklahoma Joe is just what I learned how to cook on. I learned how to cook on this one first. I really didn't put enough time and effort into this one, but this one, if you can cook on this becomes super easy. I'm sure there's about a million things that I missed within this video. If there's something else that you would like to know, leave me a comment and I'll try to get back to you. Alright, well, thank you for watching.